So I wanted to look into what were the reasons some of these prices were changing. So fossil fuel costs are spiking. We've got, for the first time, generating power from coal or gas. 70% of electricity that Australians consumed is generated from coal or gas being burnt. So we're still very heavily reliant on the older methods or the old school methods of generating power. Now, the short-term price of gas has risen to levels never seen in Australia before, and it's 4 times the average of the previous prices over the last 5 years. The price hikes have driven wholesale electricity to extraordinary levels. 409% is the number. There it is. It was $68 per megawatt hour, and now it's $346 per megawatt hour. That is a huge increase. So they've got some things of what you can do, and then I'm going to go back to this message I saw after reading this. The recommendation in this article is you need to go and look at what you are paying for your electricity now, and then how your provider is sourcing their electricity. If they are a reseller, you're in a bad place, because they're going to have to jack their prices up, 3, 4, 5 times over the coming year. So if you paid $2,000 this year, you're looking at $4,000 or $5,000 minimum next year on your electricity bills. So switching, looking for a discount you can lock in for a long period of time is their number one recommendation. Obviously, number 2, reduce your waste. If you're leaving lights on and power on and wasting electricity, start to think of that as some serious dollars that are going out the door and not just leaving the light on for the sake of it. If you want to look at a market where you can study to see what's happened in another market, Britain is where they think Australia is going to be over the next couple of years. So in Britain, average electricity prices in 2021 were 36% higher than 2020. And then the market regulator increased prices again a further 54% this year heading into next year. So those increases across the board were 30 to 50% minimum for the whole market in the UK. In Feb 2022, half of Britain's electricity retailers went into liquidation or administration. So you got to think of the providers that they had couldn't sustain the model because their price to get wholesale and what they were allowed to build in as a margin for retail, it wasn't enough to survive. So they sunk their business. They say this is the future of Australia.
It's pretty scary. Yep.